Hello and welcome back to Lorehammer. I'm your host, Mark, and we got another Astartes Armoury episode. Today it's rare and retired weapons. So we're going to be checking out a lot of weapons from the Horus Heresy era type stuff, from disintegration weapons to, I think my new favorite one on this list is the Etheric Shock Maul, which is pretty fucking tight. But yeah, we'll get into that. First, well, let's introduce our guest. We got young Jax joining us. Hey, man.
Yo, how's it going?
Good. I had to get you on this episode because we're talking about the Nestorian chain glaive. So I said, have him on, throw him a bone.
Oh, Night Lords, my beloved.
Yeah. Do you want a bone or do you want like a patch of skin next time I throw you something? Like, what's the Night Lords vibe?
I'll take like a skin coat, like a little
nice
bit
little
of
skin coat. A nice medium-sized skin coat, so it's tight. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Excellent. We also got joining us for the second time, Aaron. Hey, how's it going, man?
Howdy, pretty good. Having fun. Time for Warhammer.
Time for a little Warhammer. Do you guys have a favorite melee weapon that we've kind of gone over? It doesn't have to be on the episode we're covering today, but just kind of in general.
The Eviscerator. Two-handed chain sword. So good.
Yeah, I didn't know that weapon had a power field in it as well. So it's like a chainsword with a little, it's not as potent as like a power sword power field, but it still does have one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, fucking the more you know. And Jax, you got a favorite weapon? Or did I already spoil it for you?
Ooh, I don't know, maybe the Night Lord one. But there's another cool one, I see.
Okay. Yeah. The chat's filling up with some people. Hey there, Sapaladrim. I don't know how to say his fucking name, but whatever. Hey though. So let's do some quick housekeeping and then dive into this episode. Come join the Discord. I see a lot of new people on there. Always cool to see new people on there chatting, sharing what kind of projects you're working on. If you have questions about your lore, you can post in there, or you're not quite sure how to do this particular type of paint job, maybe you post in the work in progress and ask some people for some help. But come join the Discord. There's links in the description down below.
Yeah.
So about the Patreon, if you want to be like me, all cool and a Night Lord fan and on the show, join the Patreon. Pretty cool. Ad-free version at $2.50 and video version at $5. Pretty nice, Maybe one of these days you could be me, up here talking about Night Lord propaganda.
One day, maybe. Yeah, that would be nice. More people, the better. I just had this chick reach out to me that wanted to come on this show, and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm getting trolled by a bot here. I don't believe it. A girl wants to talk to me about Warhammer? I don't know. We'll hunt that one down. Let's see if we can get a chick on the show. But come join the live stream. You can come talk, share what you want. Maybe at the end of the episode, if you have a favorite weapon you want to share about, just post in the chat, and then we'll send you a link, and you guys can hop on the show and join and share what you like. But let's get into it. Astartes Armoury. Rare and retired weapons. So in this episode, we're going to kind of define what I mean by that, because there's rare and retired weapons. There's relic weapons that are different. There's experimental weapons that are different. There's chaos Astartes weapons that are different. So when we're talking about the rare and retired stuff, we're basically only talking about Space Marine war gear as well, like not chaos stuff, because they keep a lot of their stuff. But that's kind of the vibe of that. Then we'll get into the actual weapons. We're going to cover a whole bunch of different ones. I don't need to read them out here, but rad weapons, volkite weapons, all types of cool. I think the big ones are disintegrations and volkite. Those are like the big rare and retired weapons in my mind. But
aren't volkite like mining tools? Isn't that what that came from?
Oh, maybe.
I had heard something about that it was like a big Iron Hands and Salamander's weapon because of mining materials.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I know it's like almost like a melta gun, but a little different in operations, but it's kind of like a heat gun essentially. So maybe they're like fucking blasting rock and turn it to slag. I don't fucking know. Yeah, they say the Imperial Knight was They say the Imperial Knight
Oh.
was like an agri bot or something, you know, on an agri world. Farming tools. He needs his chainsaw so he can cut perfect trenches in the dirt to plant crops, or I don't know. So anything's possible in 40K.
Yeah, you said mining like space dwarves. I mean, jackhammer that just shoots out volkite.
Yes. Cool. Well, let's get into it. 10,000 years of weapons.
All right. Across 10,000 years since the Horus Heresy, the weapons of the Adeptus Astartes have been in ever constant flux, shaped as much by loss and dogma as by innovation. Many arms carried into battle today are direct descendants of Great Crusade patterns. They're machine spirits centuries old, rebuilt and reblessed through countless wars, while others exist only as fragmented STC echoes or sealed relics, deemed too dangerous, costly, or heretical to maintain. Entire classes of weapons have been altered, simplified, or outright disbanded as knowledge bled away and mechanicum turned from invention to preservation, favoring reliability over mastery. Yet experimentation never fully ceased. Rare forged worlds still birth new or rediscovered designs, field tested in small numbers by trusted chapters. Thus, the Astartes arsenal stands as a paradox of the Imperium itself, ancient, scarred, and ritual bound, yet forever adapting. Where a blade may be older than a chapter's homeworld, while the gun it is barely a century proven.
Yeah,
That's one thing I think is interesting. Is like you've got like the more senior members using like 1,000-year-old weapons, and then they've got their like newer people with like really like recently made ones, and like recent's like 300 years ago.
Relatively recent, yeah. No, it's crazy. They have all types, and like these weapons are constantly changing and adapting, and like they don't change that much. It's minor tweaks, really, or like recategorizations and stuff like that. They do lose a lot of technology. Like over 10,000 years, you obviously lose a shit ton of stuff. So then, if you lose something, then you have to replace it with something. So that happens a few times too throughout.
It's always
throughout their
worse,
history.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
there is a story in the Horus Heresy. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. As I was saying, there is a story of the Horus Heresy, where the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Loyalists, they put together all these like brand new, like cool ideas for inventions and all these like actually like working data plans for these new upcoming cool weapons. But the traitors were about to come in and take it all. So one decided, you know what? Nobody has any fun, and blew it all up. So we can't have fun. We can't have fun stuff anymore.
Goddamn. Man, there's probably some nice weapons in there too. Do you think he used one of the weapons to blow up the weapons, or is that like?
Nah, they probably just beat it up.
I just figured most Warhammer worlds most Imperial worlds just have like a nuke button, just so when shit goes south, just
that would be
all
a
up.
good move. Yeah. Pressing case.
They're holding their own shit hostage. Don't come any closer. I'll press this button. What does it do? Blows up my own stuff.
All right. After that, we've got rare and retired weapons. Rare and retired weapons are of the Adeptus Astartes are those patterns once issued in limited numbers or phased out as knowledge, materials, or doctrine change over millennia of war. Many survive only as relics of armories maintained through ritual and substitution, their continued use dependent on the skill of a chapter's artificers and the favor of the machine god. Though no longer produced, such weapons endure as functional testaments to earlier eras of Imperial warfare where effectiveness was proven long before standardization took hold.
Yeah, like a good example of this type of weapon might be like a Infernus pistol, which is like a Melta pistol. Back in the day, around 5th edition, only Blood Angels had access to Melta pistols, and it was really only Dante who had it. So it was a pretty rare, weapon, although it wasn't like there are still chapters or Forge Worlds that make it. It's still in production and all that, but it is rare for sure.
Yeah, I was about to ask if that was Dante's that you were talking about.
Yeah. Nowadays though, like there's a lot more melta pistols kicking about. Especially if you're in like the Sisters of Battle and stuff, that it's way more predominant in them. So like that's another thing. Like just because a weapon might be rare or retired for Astartes doesn't mean that the Imperium as a whole isn't using it. They might have taken it from Astartes and given it to the Sisters type thing.
That makes a lot of sense.
So next we have relic weapons. Relic weapons are singular or near singular creations forged for a specific war, champion, or movement, and never intended for broad issue. Most are measured immeasurably ancient, their methods of construction lost, their materials irreplaceable, and their machine spirits bound by rights no longer fully understood. They stand apart from rare or retired weapons, for such arms were once produced, cataloged, and later abandoned, whereas relics were never mass manufactured in the first place, existing outside any formal pattern or supply chain. To wield a relic weapon is not merely to carry it to a war, but to bear the accumulated authority, violence, and memory of ages past, sanctioned only for those judged worthy to awaken its dormant wrath. So this is kind of the category for like those 10,000, 1,000-year-old power swords. They're just like a one-off masterpiece creation made by some artisan who's given to somebody and that's passed on from Astartes to Astartes. And like those are relic weapons. They're super special.
Better not let the Blood Ravens find out. They'll come and get them.
Yeah. This is like the perfect weapon for anything you want to give like your special little like character. Like, oh, mine wields the black sword of Dominus 3.
Sounds magical. I love it. Tell me more. Well, it's a red blade.
Oh.
Can't be a black one. Not Sanguinius. Sigismund would be mad.
Yeah.
Sigismund. But yeah, think about it. Like effective, like relic weapons are known to be like really like powerful. Like as you said, the masterpiece. Yeah. But like whether that's like it's a really light power sword, or if I swing this is gonna open a black hole if I put enough force into it.
Yeah. This is my black hole sword.
It's 40K. Exactly. I mean, why not?
It fits.
The black hole's only open when it's swinging, though. It closes when it's not moving.
Yeah. Perfect. Otherwise, it would just be impractical to use. You're just opening black holes everywhere.
Yeah. You just use it once, and everything around you is just gone. Like everything. The first thing gone is the user's arm going straight into it.
Yeah, he swings and gets stuck in himself.
Yeah, you just see him fall inside a hole.
Oh man. Yeah, that's why that one wasn't mass produced for sure. But great relic weapon nonetheless.
Yeah. That's so funny.
All right. Onward towards experimental weapons. Experimental weapons are newly devised or radically altered arms, fielded in limited numbers to test unproven methods of destruction. Many see use within the Death Watch, where Xenos threats demand constant adaptation. Through numerous chapters, quietly pursue their own innovations to better annihilate specific foes. Keyword annihilate. Unlike rare or retired weapons, experimental arms are not remnants of the past, but uncertain tools of the present, awaiting either wider adoption or final abandonment. Heresy.
The Death Watch got a lot of those.
Yeah, we did like the bolt gun episode too not too long ago, and I feel like a lot of those specialty bolts were also in this category, and also were home to the Death Watch as well. But that's like a great testing ground for weapons.
Yeah, there's plenty of use for them against the Death Watch just goes against everybody. So, Xenos, but people who don't matter, so it's okay.
One of my favorite Death Watch weapons is I think it's called the Infernus heavy bolter, but basically it's a combi heavy bolter. So instead of a combi bolter, you got a combi heavy bolter with a heavy flamer strapped underneath, and that thing's fucking tight.
That is some orc shit right there.
Yeah, let's pull up a picture of that. What did I say it was called?
That,
Infernus?
it'd be hard
wait,
for
is it
somebody
like-
to wield that.
Yeah, class.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I love that gun. That's fucking tight. So that's a great experimental weapon. The experiments, I'm sure, are proving very great, though. I'm sure
It's
it's
as
doing
big as he is, dude. Holy cow. That's wider than his torso.
Yeah,
That is hilarious, though.
good. I love it.
And that is
Kind of find it.
a Warhammer weapon.
Yeah, that's what the salamanders use. So like when they enter like an Eldari orphanage, the salamanders, that's what they pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the double tap of the century.
Yeah, it is
Bolt
very
gun for your
good.
head, crisp the remains. Yeah.
But no, is it lore accurate that like so Death Watch get all like the new stuff, but is it tested through like the Black Shields, like the traitors turn loyalists or like the loyalists that done goofed up? They give them all like the experimental and could possibly blow up weapons. Is like okay, let it filter down the ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely give the dangerous ones to them for sure. 1 in 10 chance this weapon's gonna explode in your face. It's just your state of the mill plasma gun, but here you go.
After 9 shots of it not blowing up, you're really scared for that last one.
Yeah. Right. You know what? I think the war's done. Let's go home, boys.
Yeah.
All right, we also have Chaos Astartes weapons, which also, like I was kind of saying, fall into a little slightly different category as well.
Yeah. The designation of rare or retired weapons is largely a construction of loyalist Astartes doctrine born from mechanicum regulation, codified supply chains, and the slow decay of sanctioned knowledge. For the trade reasons, such as distinctions hold little meaning, as Chaos Astartes often draw upon forgotten forge worlds, demon forges, and heretic manufactoria that often continue to produce patterns long abandoned or forbidden by the Imperium. Weapons deemed obsolete or irrecoverable by loyalist standards may persist in active use among the legions, sustained by warp-tainted industry, salvaged STC fragments, or blasphemous innovation unconcerned with the safety or orthodoxy. As a result, chaos arsenals exist outside the Imperium's classifications where age does not equate to scarcity, retirement does not imply disappearance, and weapons lost to history may still reap blood in the present age. Yeah, I imagine just kind of innovating like crazy is very heretical. I hadn't really thought about that too much, but you're not really allowed to make new shit.
Yeah, and that was one of my big gripes about when Marines came out. It's like, hold on, the Imperium hasn't made anything new in like 10,000 years. They look at new things as heretical, like because it's a fucking religion. It's a religious cult. Their technological institution, and you don't mess with religious cults. They don't just change their dogma.
You don't change the not the angels' weapons first, but the angels themselves first.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Hey, the Emperor's creation wasn't good enough. Gonna make it better. Yeah, okay. Thanks, GW.
Yeah.
But the big question, I suppose, with Chaos Astartes is what happens when you stick a demon in a cool gun, and now it's like shooting out skulls at people.
Flamer's already attached.
Just shooting out plague shots or like blood.
Your flamethrowers turn into blood blowers, and you're like, oh my god, this is rank.
A stinky fart gun for Nurgle.
Yeah. So those guns also don't count in this category of weapons that we're going to go through. These are once again, these are kind of like the Imperial focused weapons. So let's kind of, now that we got the context, let's start with the weapons. We'll start with melee, and the very first one will be the etheric shock maul. But Astartes melee weapons are brutal instruments of close quarters dominance, forged to exploit the superhuman strength and speed of their wielders. From chain-edged axes to crackling power blades, these arms are either designed to shatter armor, flesh, or morale in the press of battle. Each strike is born both a weapon and a doctrine, embodying the Astartes belief that war is decided at arm's reach. Cool. So the etheric shock maul. The etheric shock maul was a concentrated anti-demonic weapon wrought by the legions of Astartes during the Horus Heresy. Born most often by the Primaris Nullificators, whose ordained task was the containment and annihilation of warp entities unleashed by both sides of the war. Drawing upon principles akin to Martian volkite science, these brutal mauls released controlled surges of aciniton. I don't know what this word is. I'll put it in the chat. I've never read that word before. What's the word? Enjoy. A force on impact. A sanctioned discharge calibrated to rupture the manifested flesh of demons bound into real space. Yeah, fucking tight. This weapon, like its frequency is just tuned just right that when you hit demons with it, they go away and they're gone. Which is kind of an interesting thought that, like, you know, you hear fucking smart scientists go on about frequencies and how we're all just vibrations and movings and there's nothing actually solid and whatever. So if you shoot some type of, or in this case, hit a demon with some type of frequency, it really fucks them up. It scatters their atoms or whatever.
Yeah, so I looked it up. It's like a light radiation, specifically UV and visible light, that produces chemical or biological changes such as sunburn, material degradation, or skin damage.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just looked up the word.
For all you not watching the stream, I nearly spit out my Dr. Pepper because the second picture that popped up was the guy holding the maul, and the title was "Stop Resisting" as he nearly caved in a cultist's head.
Now that's policing. Good old policing in 40K. All right, the next weapon are the Cadero weapons. Cadero weapons were close assault implements issued to the world leaders during the Great Crusade. Reading's gay for me today. From ritual killing tools of Nucerian gladiatorial cults, savage in design and unforgiving in use, they demanded total aggression and iron discipline to wield effectively. Such weapons were most commonly borne by the rampagers, whose role was deliberate and ritualized in execution of the enemies at arm's reach. So there's kind of four main types of these weapons. The meteor hammer is first. This ancient weapon is a sanctified mass of chain and brutal descendant of flail pattern arms. Its form simple and its purpose absolute. Velocity is its doctrine, built through continuous motion until released in a sanctioned arc of impact from any vector. The weight head serves equally to strike, deflect, or entrap, turning enemy weapons into liabilities. In the hands of a disciplined master, the shifting reach and mechanical unpredictability render defenses inefficient, allowing killing force to be delivered beyond immediate contact. It's a big old fucking ball and chain.
Yeah.
As you fling it around. The excoriator.
But imagine the from Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, the Witch King's weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, have you ever flung like a mace or like a flail around? Yeah, those things move, eh? They're wild. Like,
yeah, they don't behave right. It's terrible.
yeah. Fun, hell of a lot of fun, but yeah.
Yeah, these are mostly used by world eaters, right? Just almost primarily.
Yeah, I think exclusively. Like these are like from the gladiatorial pits of New Syria. So yeah.
I looked up just the meteor hammer and like the weapons, and I'm not finding anything else other than world eaters for the minis that are holding them.
Yeah. The next one is the excoriator chain axe. Favored by world eaters, this immense two-handed chain axe is a weapon of sanctioned excess, wieldable only by the strongest legionnaires. Its ancient Nucerian chain resembles a power armor-driven mass, allow it to carve wide, unstoppable arcs of destruction. With sufficient momentum, the excoriator chain axe can cleave armored Astartes, breach fortifications, or tear light vehicles apart in a single decisive strike. And if you're watching the video, there is kind of this guy back here that you can barely see. We might be able to find a better picture of him.
Yeah, he's using like one of Angron's weapons as like a two-handed axe instead of a single one, basically. That's kind of how it looks.
Yeah. Exactly. Picture an axe. Now it's bigger. You know what this is. So then we have the twin flax blades. The flax is a pair one-handed swords defined by its inward curving blade, honed along the inner edge for close assault execution. Its geometry allows the point to pierce helms, shear shields, and hook defenses aside, exposing limbs and vital zones with mechanical efficiency. Reinforced guards permit direct impact strikes at correct range, ensuring the weapon remains lethal even when the blade cannot be brought to bear. Yeah, cool. So this is like a scimitar curved sword, but instead of having like where it curves, the inside of the curve is sharp. So it's like great for like hooking and like doing stuff like that. Yeah. Wield a scimitar backwards, and that's essentially the vibe of this one.
Yeah.
And the last one is the barb hook lash, and this one's fucking wild. This ancient Nucerian gladiatorial chain bears a spearheaded mass fitted with recurved barbs suspended from a long lash for close assault domination. Momentum is built up through continuous motion, allowing the weapon to strike from any vector or seize armor or arms with industrial certainty. With controlled force, the wielder can strip plating, disarm opponents, and deliver crippling impalement and dismemberment in a single sanctioned action. This is like
Lucius's thing.
What's that?
Is that like Lucius's thing? The Emperor's Children did?
No, that's more of like a whip. Where this is like, think of those like Chinese people where they have like a rope, and on the end of the rope is like a dagger, and they're flinging it around their body, and it wraps around the arm to gain momentum. Then they shoot it off their arm and flick it out.
Yeah.
It's that but 40k. So it's even bigger and wielded by an Astartes.
I see. That's actually dope. It's like,
yeah,
the best way to put it is like it's like a chain, but at the very end of it, it's like the spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like a flexible spear that's you're just whipping around all over the place. But yeah, you can see by these 4 weapons, they're all very like stylized. Like they're all very hard to use. They're not your standard weapon. Maybe the axe is kind of standard, but like they're very stylized, made for the gladiatorial pits to amuse people.
No, that's dope though. Like imagine like in any show ever, it's like the thing, like the main character or something like whips around and like he misses and it's like, haha, you missed. But then it like loops around something and then he like arcs it to like come like spear first towards like the back of the head of like the opponent. It's like,
yeah. Wraps it behind like a stop sign, so it just rips around and comes back. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, what a wild weapon this one would be to like see a master use.
Yeah, especially in Astartes, that would be crazy.
oh yeah.
Because you can't see. I bet you can't see any of it. You can't see you can't see the chain. You can probably see the spear as it's like slowing down right before it gets its momentum, and you'd be like, "Oh, it's over there," and now it's like here, like in my chest.
Yeah,
imagine
you
one
don't
just
see
like
anything until it's like in you, and you're like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
yeah, imagine like fighting like normal guardsmen, just like takes like the back of it and just like winds it up, like lobs it, takes off every guardsman's head.
Every swing breaks a sound barrier. Some like ridiculous food.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool weapon. Very cool.
Yeah. After that, we got some chain weapons, which are my personal favorites. They're so cool. Chain weapons are industrial instruments of sanctioned slaughter where rotating teeth and raw momentum replace finesse, reducing armor, flesh, and bone alike in the relentless grind of the Imperium's wars. First, we got the chain axe. Classic. The chain axe is a hatchet execution tool fitted with motor-driven monomolecular teeth engineered to rend flesh and breach armor through mass and rotational force. Where the chainsword permits measured control, the chain axe embodies blunt efficiency, its longer half generating crushing leverage at the cost of finesse, and its single or double-edged chain loops ensuring function even when fouled. Favored by warriors who prioritize annihilation over restraint, the weapon's destructive output and terror effect are deliberate features, not excess. During the Great Crusade, chain axes were a standard issue among legiones Astartes assault cadres, their reliability suited to the brutal tempo of compliance warfare. In the millennia following the Horus Heresy, sanctioned use declined within royalist forces, persisting only among chapters that embrace close assault savagery, while more disciplined formations turn to other patterns. Among I can't speak. Among renegades and traitors, however, the chain axe never fell from favor, becoming inseparable from the legacy of the World Eaters and the Creed of Corn. Gotta let the blood flow somehow. As berserkers emerged beyond their parent legion, the chain axe spread with them, its grinding roar now a common signature of chaos assault across the galaxy. Exceptions. After the heresy, the Astartes of some assault-oriented loyalist chapters like the Flesh Tearers and Carcharodons have still been known to make use of the chain axe on occasion. Yeah, the chain axe is like one of the main 3 weapons people think of when it comes to Astartes in my mind. You've got the power sword, the chain axe, and the lightning claws are like the big 3.
Okay. Those are
How I always kind of view them.
Yeah. They're iconic for sure.
Top 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that sorry, but it's crazy to think that World Eaters carry the chain axe so much.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense though. Especially when it comes to corn. Really
people do get salty though about the chain axe and how it doesn't make sense, like as an actual possibility, like with the teeth going around and around inside the haft or whatever that you'd call it, the head. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really ever line up well. But hey, man, like you said, it's fucking iconic, and I don't care. Rule of cool. Yeah. That's how the science works.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, every chainsaw you look at, you're like, how the fuck does this thing actually spin around?
Yeah, it is a little like, how is it not just stopping at some point? Like, it's not like a treadmill. There's got to be somewhere for those teeth to go that are cutting through Astartes.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I honestly haven't ever given much thought.
It works.
It fucking works. By the power of belief and 8-foot-tall muscle, it works.
You can use that weapon in the Dark Tide game, Spaldron said. And it's as shitty as you imagine.
Ah.
I believe it. Is that might have been earlier though. I don't know. I can't tell. But yeah. After that, we got the axe rake. An axe rake is a heavily reinforced chain axe fitted with a barbed grapnel head, most infamously wielded by the Ashen Circle, a sanctioned destroyer cadre within the Wordbearers Legion. This brutal implement was employed to haul enemies from their footing and tear down carved monuments and consecrated falsehoods, feeding the Legion's ritual fires throughout the Emperor's Great Crusade. 40k exception. Axe rakes were also used in the 41st millennium by the workers of the Vervenhive on the world of Vergas during the Sabbath World's Crusade. The workers of Vervenhive wielded axe rakes as weapons against the invaders of their hive city from the neighboring chaos-corrupted hive of Feroziaka? I don't know how to say that. That is a weird word. I'm going to put that in the chat.
Enjoy.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, cool. The axe rake. So another type of chain axe weapon. If you look at the pictures, this one I really don't fucking get how the teeth work on it, but
yeah,
hey, whatever.
I saw you pull the picture up right before I was reading, and I was about to ask, how does that weapon?
How does it weapon?
But it's cool. Imagine like a little like hatchet. Now, this is where you need to get the live stream and watch the video because the pictures Mark pulls up, fantastic. They look so like cool.
So janky, man. Oh.
That's not the rake you use to pick up leaves.
Yeah, my brain was not picturing that when I read the word, and I was like, that. Yeah,
it's a weapon for sure.
I had not heard of that before, so that is cool. That's one of the things I love about Warhammer. You can, like, I'm a year and a half, 2 years into, like, knowing the lore, and there is so much that just weapon-wise, you just are still finding out more. And you can be 20 years in and still find some stuff.
Oh, all the time, man. Every episode I learn a shit ton. Every time.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. It's just so big. Warhammer, that is.
right,
Anyway.
what do we have next?
The chain glaive. More chains. These weapons exist in numerous sanctioned patterns, shaped by the Forge Worlds and ages that birthed them, yet all share a singular lethality of purpose, favored by the World Eaters and Night Lords. The chain glaive is a polearm, fitted with a double-edged chain blade, calibrated for both thrusting penetration and sweeping cuts. Its reach enabling rapid, controlled violence. Within the Night Lord's Legion, it was commonly borne by officers of the Legion. Exceptions. Some select Astra Militarum Rough Rider units have also been issued the pattern, adapting its industrial brutality to mounted warfare. The first example we got here is the Nostraman Chain Glaive. The Nostraman Chain Glaive was a chain weapon employed by the Night Lord's Legion. Fashioned as a long polearm crowded with a chainsword blade, wrought in the brutal utilitarian, it's going in the chat, style of Nostromo.
Oh, I know this one, utilitarian.
Ah, you son of a gun. Yeah, thoughts. Night Lord stuff. Ooh, it's so cool.
It does look fucking sweet. I love that it has like that little bit of a curve to the blade as well, where it's not a straight edge. And then of course it's got the blades on both sides, so it actually looks like it's a functioning chain weapon. Tight.
Yeah. That's the curved weapons in Warhammer are peak. They are so much better than just straight sticks with like power or like teeth on them.
And
except for the Guardian
if you
Spear,
really
that's
think about
an exception.
yeah. If you really think about it, like this serves a dual purpose. First of all, like, yeah, it's a spear. Like, you got range on your enemy. But also imagine like the Raptors, because like Night Lords specialize in very terror tactics and jetpacks. They're fast, mobile, strike here, strike fast. So that employs jetpacks. Usually, like, they got Astartes should have the reach on any kind of other enemy. So imagine like these just swooping by and then immediately going down, swooping down at the last second before they collide with the ground. Well, not the last second, but before they collide with the enemy, they swoop up and just like drop their like spear and just like word across all the enemies. Oh,
yeah, that's
fanboy
one way to
inside.
do it. Or you could be like the World Eaters and trim trees with it, says the large TVA
Largest
cup. I don't know.
avocado yet. That's funny. They look like pulsars. That's the
World
dude.
Eaters.
Yeah, a little.
Everyone knows World Eaters have like a Zen garden and they trim their trees.
The only way
Tons
to
of trees.
tame the butcher's nails, gardening. Fuck. Yeah, it looks great. I'm just scrolling through, like, it's crazy nowadays with all the 3D print shops and all the third-party bid shops. Like, look at some of these fucking chain weapons, man. They're tight. There's so much sweet stuff out there now for 40K. I just bought a bunch of World Eater stuff, and I ordered a bunch of 3D prints and bunch of stuff. And I was just going through websites and like, holy fuck, every time I go on, there's like
Something else.
Something else. It's crazy nowadays. What's the next weapon? A heavy chain glaive. Okay. This was an interesting one. It seemed like this one almost spawned from a kit bash. If you look at the picture I pulled up, like that's a kit bash model.
Yeah.
But then it somehow actually made it into like the new eightfold, exalted eightfold of Khorne World Eater guys or whatever. They do have a chain weapon, but yeah, this definitely was kind of an interesting thing that it made it.
Yeah. The heavy chain glaive was most notable with the World Eaters, 8-pound. It is an oversized chain weapon engineered for maximum reach and catastrophic impact. Its reinforced haft and overdriven blade assemblies built to withstand sustained, uncontrolled assault, designed to carve wide arcs of destruction. The weapon prioritizes momentum and carrying force over precision, turning every strike into a grinding execution. So cool. Is that?
You painted
Sorry,
that picture
Marshall.
of You painted that picture of the Night Lords being like that elegant kind of like quick sweeping motion, but this is a different type of weapon. This one, this is like a brute force, big sweeping arc, slow, a lumberous, but like you can't dodge it and you get hit and you get fucked essentially.
Yeah, it definitely is that. If you're hit by it, you're gone. You're done.
Dunzo.
Like yeah, usually the like the chainsword, yeah, sweeping attacks, yeah, it does that. But imagine taking that, putting it back, and putting all your force into like it's like bringing a long stick on someone.
yeah, exactly. Fuck.
Yeah, it's so cool. I didn't think I'd be fanboying over weapons so much.
let's go buy some. I think after the episode, you guys are in America. You guys can probably buy all types of cool shit.
Yeah. Sadly, we're not 40,000 years in the future and could get cool stuff like this in like your average weapon gun store, but
one day,
one
it's
day.
the future we want, and we will aim towards it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Anyway, the Impaler Chainglaive is next on the list. The Impaler Chainglaive is a chain weapon favored by Chaos Space Marine Lords. Discordance. Whoops. Designed as a long chainsword pattern blade mounted upon a spear shaft, this configuration grants extended reach and controlled lethality, allowing the wielder to strike with precision and force while riding the Demon Engine known as the Hellstalker.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this is a great model.
That is a sick looking model, yeah. Is that the model? Is that a Kipash or is that the normal model?
That's a real one. I think that's called the Lord Discordant. Is that what we just said? But yeah, that's
Yes,
the
sir.
real one.
Awesome. I need one. I need one so bad.
That is cool. That is cool.
I love all the weapons of chain weapons where they have like right next to all the spinning teeth. Like this one has a nice little tuft of red hair or something, or the Black Templar have their weapons chained to them. But I always just picture things flying into those chains and just causing havoc.
Yeah, that's why it's got all like those little ribbons on the end of it. It's the pieces that have gotten in the chain.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Cool weapon.
Now that's a Howling Banshee's headpiece, the red hair.
Oh yeah. You ever think Night Lords just have skin all over their weapons that from like just years of cutting up people? just
the
like
chains get caught in them.
Version of like the little like pieces of cloth on
them. This used to be Bill.
I
miss Bill.
Oh my god.
So good.
So now we're going to jump into power weapons. Astartes' power weapons are sanctified relics of the Imperium. Their disruption fields wrapped around blades, mauls, and axes to unmake matter at the molecular level. In battle, they do not merely cut or crush, but erase resistance through controlled annihilation, allowing ceramite, bone, and adamantium to fall with equal inevitability. Each is a union of war rite and machine spirit, maintained through litany and discipline, and entrusted only to those Space Marines deemed worthy to carry such precise instruments of execution. So the first one we're going to cover is the Power Scythe, and it is an archaic pattern of power weapon issued to the Legion of Astartes during the Great Crusade and the Wars of the Horus Heresy. The pattern was never fully achieved, or the pattern never achieved full doctrinal acceptance, and by order of the Department Minatorum, its manufacture was terminated in M34, leaving only to a dwindling number in Imperial service, though examples persist amongst Chaos-aligned forces, most notably those sworn to Nurgle. And the exceptions of this are, despite its extreme scarcity, power scythes remain limited in Imperial use, recorded among such chapters as the Death Spectres or the Scythes of the Emperor.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Scythes of the Emperor better use that, or I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel propagandized hella hard.
Oh, man.
I think, personally, to me, scythes are so cool.
Yeah.
Like, the Grim Reaper's weapon. Like, you see this, like, giant, like, 7-foot tall dude walking around with one of these. It just so happens his armor is black. You know you're done for.
Yeah, I fucking suppose this is like a 12-foot blade or not blade, but weapon. Like if you look at the picture, it's fucking huge, and that thing's bigger than him.
Yeah.
Reach.
As a Spaldrum said in the chat, it just goes through armor and gets in deep. Like this isn't like your normal like stabbing weapon. This is like thrusting. It could like swing it.
And anything it hits is done. Yeah, you know, in 40K, when you have demon-infested wheat, you know, you have to be able to fight back against the demon-infested wheat, those Agri World workers. So they came up with the power scythe so they can, you know, fight the demon wheat a little easier.
Scythes, for people who don't know, a scythe is a farming tool in real life.
Yeah.
Like cut grass. Like you go like back and forth with it. And there's like a video of this dude going against somebody who's using like a push mower, and he's so much faster than that. He's so much faster because it's got to go like back and forth in a line, and he can do like this big like 8-foot span of like as he steps forward, like because it's a big blade on the end of them.
Yeah,
so, I imagine an Agri World would be a great place to give an Astartes from that Agri World a weapon that they're very comfortable with. You've been in the farm your whole life. Here, take this. This should feel familiar.
Wow.
Yeah. Dissolves wheat at the molecular level. What the?
Cool. We also have power spear.
Sorry.
All good. We also have power spears, which you wouldn't think that they're rare or retired, but yeah, I guess they kind of are. When I was going through models and stuff, it seemed like it was only special characters or like elite units that kind of had them. Like, whew, I don't know what he said. That was pretty bloggy on my end, but power spears.
I didn't hear anything.
Power spears are polearm pattern weapons consisting of reinforced haft terminating in a focused disruption field at the blade or thrusting tip, designed to concentrate immense energy into a single penetrating strike. When driven home, the power field destabilizes matter on contact, allowing the spear to pierce armor, shields, and dense targets with clinical efficiency rather than brute mass. In the current age, they are far less common than swords or axes, having fallen out of favor as doctrine shifted towards compact melee arms. Yet they are not truly rare, still issued to select officers, specialists, and chapters that value reach, formation fighting, or ritual continuity over prevailing trends. Yeah, some good examples of a power spear would be maybe like the Blood Angels, Sanguinary Guard. They all have power spears.
Yeah, something I was gonna ask. I looked it up, and it seems like very Eldari, but Emperor's Children have some. But would the Custodes, would this be one of their things with the whole like spear?
Yeah, like yes, yeah, but like there's just so much more because they also have their bolters attached into it. Like it's a very different weapon. Like yeah, it might fall into the spear category, but like
it's a step above.
It really is,
okay.
And it also is a ranged weapon too. And like you know, old Custodian Guardian spears used to have las cannons in them, where they were shooting fucking las cannons out their spear.
God, that is crazy.
Yeah. So
phalanx with it, like
Custodian one is like almost twice the size of an Astartes one.
Yeah, fucking tight. So yeah, you know, it's very similar technology, but I guess same with a stick. You can fucking poke things with a stick.
Big stick, more damage.
Yeah. Couple other cool examples of power spears would be the iron snakes. I don't know if you guys have heard of that chapter, but
oh yeah.
Let's see if I can find
that's a
Oh yeah, here's.
Are they one of the multiple Ultramarine successors?
Yeah, they're definitely Ultramarine successor, one of the many for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. They're a second founding.
Yeah, their kind of vibe, just real quick, is like their planet, they hunt things in the ocean with their spears. So then sometimes those spears make it into their ranks. But kind of like what you're joking about with that scythe, where it's like, you know, if they're already using a weapon technology, let's just Just keep using that weapon technology, just better.
Muscle memory. Just make it bigger.
Just make it bigger. Make it monomolecular. Please. Please.
Now, who holds it better, Alfarius or Sanguinius?
That's a good question. Let's see his spear. Oh yeah, it's a pretty cool spear. Nice little blood drop in it. Okay. No, let's give it to Alfarius. So I don't picture. Yeah, I don't picture Sanguinius with his spear. I know he uses one, but it seems odd.
Hmm.
And I always picture a sword, but that's just me. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not canon.
Everything is canon in 40k.
He fought Horse with the spear, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah.
I know he fought Angron with one. That's when he did like Angron like took it from him, threw it at him. Sanguinius caught it, threw it back. They were just playing like catch with this spear.
That's funny. All right, well,
Anyway,
let's go into ranged weapons.
Yes, sir. So, Astartes, very famous ranged weapons, deliver overwhelming force at distance, combining reliability, mass reactive lethality, and battlefield adaptability. Bolters, plasma arms, and heavier support weapons are engineered to function under very extreme conditions, maintaining lethal output where lesser arms would fail. Whether suppressing, annihilating, or breaching, Astartes' firepower exists to break the enemy before the final advance begins. To start off, we got the good old Archaeotech pistol. Archaeotech pistols are relic sidearms whose origins reach back all the way to the Dark Age of technology, preserved as functional remnants of a long-lost mastery. These weapons encompass a wide range of firing mechanisms, from microatomic payloads to coherent kill rays that siphon energy from planetary magnetospheres to deliver annihilation. During the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy, they were commonly borne by senior Imperial and Astartes commanders, and in the 42nd millennium, they are still encountered in the hands of the Adeptus Mechanicus explorators, some discharging distinctive lances of emerald-hued energy. Huh.
Yeah, I'd seen these on some Mechanicus models before, but not on the Astartes.
They're like 30k guys only.
Yeah, that seems fair.
See this guy right here. He's got one. The one has a volkite, I believe, and then the other guy has an archaeotype.
Yeah.
They're kind of like TIE fighters from Star Wars, though. They shoot green.
We'll just go back to the power spear real quick there. Spaldrum says, but a spear is kind of like an angelic weapon, no? And then Tripleaf says, I think so too. Like Archangel Michael lines up well with Sanguinius. He says, yeah. I was about to mention Michael as well. So yeah, clearly that was just kind of my thing. I don't know. I always just pictured him with a sword, but like, yeah, no, you're right. Like Archangel Michael, definitely there's like spear motifs on that and all that. Our angels do spears, but I'm not saying I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. I'm just saying I like swords.
Yeah, him using the sword actually makes more sense because it's like he wouldn't use like the big weapon to fight everybody. Because I think Sanguinius is a little too nice for that. So he would probably use the sword for anybody not a Primarch or like a big threat.
Yeah, I think being like an angel, like, you know, being able to fly, kind of essentially makes you a cavalry unit if you think about it. Like, essentially, you're charging into battle. So, yeah, a spear would be useful, but I think mainly Sanguinius even mentions his main thing was with a sword. Like, that's the weapon he takes to fight Horus with. When he's down on his knees, like, almost dead, he still has a sword in his hand. Because I don't know the exact lore for it, but I think, don't quote me on this, but Sanguinius' spear was made by one of his brothers, whereas the sword was like directly from the Emperor.
Oh, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah, the and Carmine blade.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, well, I was put in my place there, so I accept my fate. 10 push-ups for me for repentance, or some lashes. I'll do whatever, but
Gotta go on a crusade.
go on crusade a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, go on a penance crusade, Mark.
Anyway, if we want to move on to the assault grenade launcher. Okay. Integrated directly into Terminator armor, this underslung grenade launcher is a sealed internal weapon system rather than a carried firearm. Its mechanisms built into the gauntlet and forearm assemblies. From within the armor's frame, it delivers short-range, high-density grenade fire, allowing the wielder to saturate confined spaces without compromising grip on primary weapons. Engineered for reliability in toxic debris-choked environments, the system embodies Death Guard doctrine by turning the armor itself into a platform of relentless, additional destruction.
Cool. Yeah, it's weird. You don't see grenades often in 40K, like grenade launchers with Space Marines. I just picture like a Space Marine can already throw a grenade so fucking far.
Yeah.
I can throw shit pretty far. A Space Marine's gonna huck that. You don't need a grenade launcher, essentially, is the thought.
He throws a grenade like up in the air, and it literally gets the flames around it of it exiting the atmosphere too fast.
Yeah, he throws the grenade at you, and the grenade hits you and kills you, and then explodes.
It's like the bolter where it lodges inside you.
Yeah.
And then it takes a second before it explodes.
Exactly.
You kind of have to have a giant grenade launcher for an Astartes though, because their bolters are just RPG rounds basically. So it would, in my mind, the grenade launcher is a downgrade from a bolter unless it's a giant grenade launcher.
I think this might be the one that in the Space Marine 2 game, or just in general for the model, that the Terminators of the Thousand Suns use on their armor. It's like the little things that stand up. So whenever they go like this and lean back, they shoot like grenades.
Oh, those on their shoulders or whatever?
I believe so. If you want to quickly look up the model, it's like the Terminator. Yeah, that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So there's some Chaos definitely uses grenade launches a lot more, it seems, than regular Astartes. Seems
because bolters were made to kill mortals, right? That's what the Great Crusade was for. Unite the humans, kill any humans who didn't submit. Bolters are a perfect job. But I believe grenade launchers were made specifically for Astartes or to for Xenos possibly.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
After
I like
that,
it.
Yeah, we got the twin-linked bolter next. Comparable in function to the storm bolter, the twin-linked bolter, commonly designated the combi bolter, consists of two standard bolt guns mechanically bound to discharge in unison. Crude in construction yet brutally efficient, it was a transitional weapon pattern that saw increasing adoption during the Horus Heresy as battlefield demands outpaced refinement. In the current age, the combi bolter is a far less prevalent within Imperial forces, having been superseded by the storm bolter as the sanctioned standard, though it remains widely employed by Chaos Space Marines attack formations, particularly on assault bikes and relic mounts. That sounds terrifying, actually. The pattern also gave rise to hybrid configurations, pairing a bolter with a secondary weapon such as a plasma gun, melta gun, flamer, or graviton, developed during the Heresy to expand the combat flexibility of Terminator units. These combi weapons endure into the present era, most commonly issued to Stern Guard veterans and their Traitor Astartes equivalents. Fair?
Yeah.
Pretty classic one, isn't it?
Yeah,
combi bolter all the time. Isn't that put on vehicles quite a lot?
Yeah, vehicles, Terminators. You might get the odd veteran or elite guy who wields it, but it's definitely that 40K variant where loyalists they use the storm bolter.
Yeah.
And then we got this beast, whatever the fuck this is. It's like a quad
Yeah,
heavy bolter where ammo goes into fucking into the gun.
that is
Come on,
I think
crazy.
one was bad.
Yeah,
You just know there's one on the other side as well.
yeah. 4
On
heavy
the other
bolter.
side, whatever vehicle that is.
And then you got guns like the Hurricane Bolter where you link together fucking, what is it? Is it 6 or 12? I forget now. I think it's 6 bolt guns together side by side.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, 6. Cool. Cool. Fun weapon.
Yeah, that's put on the one that actually is that the Land Raiders? Is that the one that's actually used to put Astartes in enemy lines?
All Land Raiders are for that, but that one
Yeah.
definitely is got a big capacity for it. So the
Yeah.
Crusader. Yeah.
Next, we have the Conversion Beamer. The Conversion Beamer is a sanctified and esoteric weapon, arduous to fabricate and exacting in operation, requiring precise calibration rights and a dedicated plasma reactor core to sustain its immense output. Owing to this complexity, conversion beamers saw their greatest use during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy of the late 30th and early 31st millennia, deploying for siege reduction and void breaching actions by specialist operators such as Legion Tech Marines and Mechanicum Meridium Destructors. That sounds cool. Unauthorized use risk provoking the weapon's machine spirit, whose displeasure may be lethally redirected upon the bearer. On rarer occasions, in large conversion beamer arrays were mounted to heavily reinforced platforms with sufficient control systems and reactor capacity, mostly notably contemptor pattern dreadnoughts. The exception for the 31st millennium are the conversion beamers are exceedingly scarce relics of the pre-heresy era. Their custody, maintenance, and sanctioned deployment typically entrusted to a chapter master of the forge, or chapter's master of the forge. Meanwhile, they are commonplace on many Skitarii war machines. Turning on yourself sounds absolutely terrifying, especially when it's something that powerful.
Yeah.
Gotta treat your machine
So-
spirits well, guys. Gotta feed them, take them for a walk,
Yeah.
water them.
I know this is probably gonna be my second Star Wars reference, but do you think it's kind of like the Death Star, like in the New Hope, charging up? You think it just goes like a little beam through it, and then like it,
Yeah.
just a massive laser comes out of it?
Probably. Yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any artwork of what that thing looks like when it's firing. But yeah, I think it's definitely like a laser. A beam, I guess.
Yeah, I picture a solid beam that just like cuts through anything.
Yeah. Pretty cool. I like all the different like styles of it. Like, you know, the Imperial Knights have one. It looks slightly different. It doesn't have a little dish on the end. Even the Leagues of Votan have one that's kind of, you know, you can see a lot of the same principles in it, but like, yeah, it's just that slight little tweaks on all of them.
A dreadnought one is terrifying.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You got to take down the dude using it first, but that's even harder.
Yeah. Cool conversion beamer. Up next, we got disintegration weapons. Disintegration weapons are capable of unmaking a target at the atomic level in a fraction of a second. Weapons of human origin are relics of the dark age of technology that continued existence both dangerous and sacred, with surviving examples venerated as engines of absolute annihilation. These systems function by destabilizing molecular cohesion, ripping matter apart regardless of composition, flesh and ceramite alike. And during the era of Old Night, they were prized as much for their terror they inspired as for the finality of their, hey, there's that word again, ascenic.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta Google it now that I've seen that word twice. You know, now let's learn something together, folks. Refers to radiation, specifically ultraviolet UV light. Okay, cool. Such weapons were present within the arsenals of the Thunder Warriors, proto-legions, Astartes, and multiple various anti-imperial forces during the Unification Wars. but were gradually displaced during the Great Crusade by Martian volkite weapons that were safer and more readily reproduced. The Adeptus Mechanicus neither controlled nor fully acknowledged disintegration technology, leaving its custody solely to the Emperor, who restricted its refined use to the custodes through a more stable adtheric variants. Despite this, several Space Marine legions, including the Space Wolves and Dark Angel, retained significant stockpiles into the Horus Heresy, where disintegration weapons were reserved for exceptional circumstances and during the war itself. More controlled versions saw limited deployment by both loyalists and traitor forces. Disintegration
That is
weapons.
cool, though.
Yeah, they are sick.
Imagine you're just some random guy conscripted to fight some empire that's trying to conquer you, and all of a sudden, Bill to your left is now nothing.
No, we can't even flay him anymore for more bill scraps.
I just imagine this weapon just being the Thanos snap, just pointing at somebody and just dust.
Except their feet.
Yeah, except their shoes.
Yeah,
I kind of picture this gun like looking when it hits somebody like the Necron flare gun, gauze cannon, where it just like sends their molecules away and just like turns you to dust essentially.
Yeah. There's that
maybe like
Nexus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Maybe it's like a bit quicker though. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Like maybe like from the newest like edition, the Horus Heresy trailer, like that new that newish trailer that came out, the most recent one, the ones the salamanders use, the salamander dreadnoughts, where point shoot like instant dust.
Yeah.
Like I said, Necron's like some guy getting hit, like having time to like, oh no, I'm disappearing.
Yeah. Oh no, Mara. Yeah. So yeah, these ones are just they hit you and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. There's a bunch of different types of disintegration weapons.
Seems like a big salamanders thing.
Oh, okay, sorry, my bad. The disintegration pistol is the first example we got. The pistols are compact disintegration weapons issued to legions Astartes, recorded in use during the Unification Wars, the Great Crusade, and throughout the Horus Heresy. And its superior is the disintegration rifle. The disintegration rifle was a pattern of disintegration weapon issued to the legions Astartes during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. Yeah, nausea. But it represented a controlled evolution of a far older and more volatile Terran disintegration arms, originating from the Dark Age of technology. And above that, we got the disintegration combi gun, a bolter fitted with the sanctified disintegration attachment. And even above that, we got the disintegration blaster, which was a pattern disintegration weapon used in the Horus Heresy and Great Crusade. And even above that, we got the heavy disintegrator, which was a large-scale disintegration weapon fielded by the legions of Astartes during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. Twin-linked variants were additionally mounted for use by the Saturnine pattern Terminators, amplifying its sanctioned destructive output. Take a shot every time I said disintegration.
Yeah, that will disintegrate your liver if you do that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back on like the examples of what we were given, do you think there's a lore reason like it's blue like plasma, or do you think like there's a factor behind that, like Necron, like you know how like their sun indicates like what color they turn, like normal is green, but you also get red, like blue, orange. Do you think there's like a reason for like why it's blue, or do you think like something could change it?
It's blue because we're the good guys.
Works great. That one word I kept saying, that satanic or whatever, it means UV light. Are there different colors of UV light?
Yeah, that's a very, very broad spectrum. There's much more UV light that's not visible than there is human light. If you go like to the color spectrum, it's like that big. We see like this much of it.
Yeah, okay. So
and
then
like
these
UV
guns are
like
shooting
big.
rainbows, essentially. They're shooting multi-dimensional rainbows.
There is one xenospecies. I believe they are associated with the Kroot and the Tau that they have 3 eyes, and one of them sees regular vision, one of them sees infrared, and one of them sees UV light.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying because they can see all the freaky shit. Like, imagine going in the warp and seeing 3 different color spectrums.
Yeah. I'm just trying to picture in my mind like how its brain compiles it all. Like if he closes 2 eyes and is only ever looking out one at a time, or like if it stacks the layers and you get this like crazy like view of all these 3
I think it's probably stacked. I think it's like, because don't turkeys see UV light like in real life? I'm pretty sure some animals do, and I think turkeys do.
I'm more of a chicken kind of guy, if you get me, but not really the turkeys. They can fight back too much.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Yeah, cool weapons. Disintegration weapons. Yeah, just fucking deadly, man. It makes sense that these weapons didn't last. Like, they retired. They would just be so hard to maintain, and like, yeah, you get a little bit of grime or grit in some little chamber, and all of a sudden the whole gun don't work. Like, it's so delicate.
Or on the off chance that instead of turning someone else to dust, you turn to dust, like backfires.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, that sure is a scary weapon.
Yeah.
Did we lose this?
I think he's having some internet problems here.
I'm back.
So, there we go. We're all good. Just in time to read the
Firefly router. Did you hear what I said? I'm pretty sure like turkeys seeing the UV light in our like real world, if I remember right. So I think that's a thing. I know some animals do, but I think a turkey is a pretty common one, or they just have like crazy vision.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right.
Up next, we have the Executioner Cannon. The Executioner Cannon is an Imperial plasma weapon originating in the era of the Great Crusade. Now scarcely encountered upon in the battlefield of the 41st millennium, the pattern was markedly more reliable than later plasma arms, forged at a time when plasma science was more completely mastered at the dawn of the Imperium. I have not seen an Executioner Cannon before.
Yeah, I thought it was a 30k Astartes weapon, but it might not actually be. Let me do some more research on that.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. The Las Cutter. The Las Cutter is a powerful yet cumbersome laser weapon optimized for extreme close-range breaching and employed to sever doors, bulkheads, and hardened barriers under battlefield conditions. Its origins lie in industrial applications where it served as a utilitarian cutting implement for orbital construction and planetary mining, engineered to penetrate armored plating and dense material strata with efficiency rather than grace. Utilizing disruption field assistance, short-range laser arcs, the laser cutter destabilizes molecular bonds at the point of contact, allowing it to cut through plasteel and ceramite with ritualized inevitability. Commonly used for boarding actions and structural clearance, its lethality at point-blank range renders it a sanctioned tool of destruction when proximity is unavoidable. Adapted for warfare during the Great Crusade, the Las Cutter proved indispensable in sieges and void assaults, breaching fortification and hulls before being turned upon the enemy at close quarters. It was particularly favored by the Breacher Siege squad of the Space Marine legions throughout the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. The Las Cutter is like pretty, just 30k, isn't it? It's not that common anymore.
The only place I can really picture it is on Imperial Knights for sure. They have
that tip that's got the 2 sides coming out the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's common at all in any Astartes.
40k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think about it, maybe like Battle of the Iron Cage-esque, where you have this massive you're in this massive fortress. You don't know much about it, and you're trying to get to point A in a certain amount of time to do something. You just use this, cut a hole, send the squad through ad nauseum until you reach that point.
Yeah, it would help if I read the last little bit for the exceptions. I didn't even see that. Exceptions in the 41st millennium, scaled down patterns have also been adopted by select Astra-Militarum formations, notably Elysian drop troops for similar boarding and siege operations. Yeah, so it's more used for the guard. That makes sense.
Yeah, and this almost seems
basically.
like it is a weapon. You can use it as a weapon, but it almost seems more like it's a tool. You use it to do that. You're cutting through stuff, you're breaching stuff, and then you're going to be using your sidearm or a different weapon for actual combat.
Yeah.
That could just be my interpretation of it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, you give an Astartes anything, though, they're going to fuck you up with it. But
just give them a bucket of golf balls and a golf club. They'll fucking take out the chow better than they can at long range.
Yeah, man.
Whoa. Where's this tally coming from? For the greater good. Even though
purge all the Zetos.
This does definitely seem like if you kill someone with this, it is gonna be a more dirtier, hard to kind of manage death. And instead of a clean, nice, one stroke, it's done. It's kind of a more bulky, something you gotta really jam into them to get the job done.
Yo, Fuzz is in the chat. How you doing?
Yo, Fuzz.
What is this anti-tau? Nobody won't stand for it.
You're pissing people off. Man. Yeah, cool weapon. Up next, we got the Needlers. Needle weapons discharge a crystalline silver or paralytic or toxic agent engineered for controlled lethality rather than physical devastation. Traditionally employed where preservation of the target is required, these weapons are utilized across Imperial forces for precision eliminations. The projection is driven by a laser carrier that dissolves the needles moments after penetration, leaving only the agent within the victim. Let me read that again because it's pretty cool tech how it actually works. The projectile is driven by a laser carried that... Wow. Okay, let me read it for a third time so you can actually know what I'm saying. The projectile is driven by a laser carrier that dissolves the needle moments after penetration, leaving only the agent within the victim. Silent and without a muzzle flash, needlers permit execution without revealing the fire's position, while the guiding beams ensure extreme accuracy by steering the silver to its mark. The same beams perform a secondary function, briefly piercing armor to create a micro aperture through which the needle passes, compensating for the weapon's otherwise limited penetrative capabilities. The range of chemical payloads may be employed throughout paralytic agents remain largely standardized, allowing a single antidote to counter most non-lethal variants. So we got some exceptions for the use of this.
Cool.
Yeah, it is so cool. It shoots that little laser and then the needle follows up through that little pinpoint. Such a cool little process.
Yeah. It better be quick because I imagine if they turn a little bit as it's hitting them, I don't know how well that work.
Yeah, you're right. It would have to be
light speed, fast.
Yeah. Some notable exceptions. Needlers are still fairly common in 40k in general, but have transitioned away from the armories of the Astartes. They realize they don't need to soft kill anything. They just need to annihilate. So the needle pistol. The needle pistol is a compact handheld needle weapon designed for discrete application. It is prized by assassins for silent, flashless operations and ease of concealment, lending itself to sanctioned elimination, incapacitation, and covert seizure. Beyond criminal use, it is documented in the arsenals of the Alpha Legion. The needle rifle is a long pattern needler designed for precision application. These weapons project crystallized toxins into the target and are favored by specialized Hive forces, assassins, or clandestine operatives. They are also employed by the Sisters of Silence, and during the Horus Heresy saw sanctioned use by Space Marines marksmen. Needle rifles are valued for their reach, silence, and lethality, though their effectiveness against armored targets is minimal. So yeah, even you're saying, with that, it has to be quick. Even with this 2-hit laser needle, it's still not going to be great against armored targets. If you move in slightly, it throws it all off. It just is not meant for that. But we do also have the Needler sniper rifle, which is a long-range refinement of the Needler weapon system. This pattern emphasizes enhanced accuracy and controlled delivery, and has been used among Space Marine scouts and Imperial Guard snipers. Yeah, pretty cool weapon. High-tech blowgun, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
So there's two things I want to say about this. This is like the perfect assassination weapon, I think. One thing I'm kind of interested about is it basically you shoot someone, right? Non-lethal. You don't want to kill them. Are they still conscious? Because that would be absolutely terrifying if you were on the opposite end of that.
It's the Alpha Legions, that probably.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
'cause-
paralytic agents in there that just kind of like freeze you up.
Okay, yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up was brought up in chat. Fulgrim actually got shot with one of these by a Raven Guard named Sharokin. And
Yeah.
basically it's super cool. So he shot him one side of the head, right? But it goes all the way through like under the skin because it can't pierce the skull because he's a Primarch, duh. And it goes under the skin all the way through like the flap of his head and exit out through the other side,
Oh fuck!
which is such
Without
a cool.
piercing the skull. That is
Yeah, because like
gross.
it's still super brutal though. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it like
hurt.
I don't know what happened to Fulgrim, like if he did get like knocked unconscious from it, but like that is a really like gnarly
It
like
messed up his hair. His
Yeah.
luscious hair.
congratulations to Sharokin, like you pissed off Fulgrim and nearly
Yeah.
got him.
That is pretty cool though. I hadn't heard that. I'm gonna
Yeah, what a
slide
wild
that
thing.
so I can read that later.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad I learned about this weapon. It's so cool.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Damien Fee is asking, isn't that what Bile carries too?
Fulgrim has poor head trauma. Very true, Fuzz.
Yeah, it does look like he is using some type of needle weapon there. I always just assumed that was like an actual like syringe or something, but like the old model makes it very clear that that's a fucking gun. Not a
Yeah.
syringe.
This would be cool for like a Dark Eldar weapon. Like imagine like shoots you non-lethal, like dissolves. And you're
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
gone. Like no muzzle flash. You don't know what
Ridiculous.
happened to you.
Dark Eldar weapons are almost like that, just like souped up. Like Dark Eldar shoot, instead of like Eldar shoot shurikens, they shoot like spikes at you. So that, you know. So this is what you do. So you get some duct tape and you grab a las gun and you grab a fucking, I don't even know what the Dark Eldar guns are called at this point, but you tape those together. Then you pull the las gun trigger first, then you shoot the other one.
Yeah.
Like the flamer bolter.
The
Flame on fire. Wait 30 seconds, then shoot him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Dark Elder gun might hit harder than the las rifle though.
Yeah.
Be like pointing a flashlight at what you want to aim at first, but the flashlight actually has a beam to it.
Speaking of flashlights with beams, plasma weapons, except this flashlight hits hard. So, a little context. I know, great transition. Plasma weapons operate by converting normal gases or fuel materials into an energized state of matter known as plasma, the stuff of the stars themselves. For our first example, we have the Plasma Blaster. The Plasma Blaster is an Imperial combi weapon configuration uniting twin plasma guns assemblies into a single sanctified frame. Its provenance lies in the Great Crusade era. Virtually absent from the wars of the 41st millennium, these relic weapons surpass modern plasma guns in reliability, forged in an age where plasma science was better mastered at the Imperium's dawn. For our next example, the Plasma Bombard. A Plasma Bombard is a refined pattern of heavy plasma weaponry born by Saturnine Terminators throughout the Unification Wars, the Great Crusade, and the Horus Heresy. The ordained armament of the Saturnine Terminator, this fearsome device functions as a plasma cannon unbound by line-of-sight constraints, delivering ordained annihilation upon designated targets. Saturnine Terminator cadres emplaced behind cover armed with paired plasma bombards may dominate wide swaths in the battlefield with calculated impunity. And the upgraded version of it is the Heavy Plasma Bombard. A Heavy Plasma Bombard is an enlarged, reinforced variant of the Plasma Bombard, fielded as a principal weapon system of the Saturnine dreadnoughts during the Unification Wars and Great Crusade in the Horus Heresy. As with the lesser pattern, the Heavy Plasma Bombard operates as a standoff artillery unit, hurling ruinous plasma discharges with precision absent visual contact. This heavier form, though, possessed superior reach and destructive yield when compared to its smaller counterpart. Next up, we got the Plasma Burner. Plasma burners were a sanctified plasma weapon pattern born by Dark Angels interpretors during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. A perilous divergence of orthodox plasma craft, plasma burners expelled plasma vapor through magnetically bound conduits as accelerated jets. Any flow within the ordained path was rendered into flowing slag instantly. Their fires raged beyond stellar heat, bearing esoteric qualities that proved lethal to work-touched entities, their immaterial wards and corrupted forearms collapsing and burning away beneath the assault. Yet the magnetic contaminant fields were unstable and bled harmful radiation, and so most interruptors wielded such arms remained combat capable for only a few decades before augmented reconstruction or attunement within a dreadnought became inevitable.
Fuck. So the other gun just blows up in your face, the conversion beamer, but this one just gives you super cancer.
So the plasma blaster, which is just a plasma gun before it was refined. There's the plasma bombard, which you don't need artillery. You don't need mortars. Just hook a dreadnought up with this, and he's like arcing his shots.
That's the
And then
one
you
the
have
Saturnine
the
one, right?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah. And then you have the demon killer, which gives you cancer, as you said, Mark.
Goddamn super cancer.
Yeah.
But you could go in a dreadnought and get so basically it's like steps up. You have the normal plasma gun, it's fine, and then you level up and get the plasma burner, kill a bunch of demons, and then you level up again, but this time you're in a dreadnought, you're in an artillery piece.
Excellent. And you're saying at the end of all this, I get to get turned into a dreadnought. So that's better than Canadian healthcare, where they just send you to the MAID program and fucking kill you. At least Astartes have some long-term healthcare going on for you.
Yeah. Plasma is a career.
It's
not the assisted suicide pods.
Yeah, no, none of those for Astartes.
Yeah, no, got to be useful somehow. I really like the Horus Heresy cinematic we talked about earlier, when that Saturnine guy's being shot, they are directly shooting him in the middle to kill him as quickly as possible to avoid that giant plasma gun on that's charging up, because it takes it a second and it just goes white and you have no idea who lived.
Yeah. Shoots a fucking star at you, like what the?
Basically, that's like the mini Titan version of that. Like whenever there's that one clip of I don't know if it's an official animation. I'm gonna assume it's not, but it's the Titan that's charging up its version of the giant plasma gun, and it just shoots a beam of sun at somebody. That's just all I picture when I see the big plasma weapons.
Yeah,
it's like going back to your like average Joe poor Billy. He's a perpetual. You're fighting the Imperium. These big dreadnoughts roll up, and all of a sudden, like they're like thousands of miles that way. You just hear about them, and then all of a sudden, the stars in the night sky start getting closer and closer. They're blue.
Are those stars falling? Fuck.
Make a wish, quick. Billy's gone.
Please don't be plasma shots. That's my only wish.
They are.
Meteors would be better.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be better though. Plasma shots are much better, in my opinion, than what we have next, which are rad weapons. Because I would not want to get shot by any of these. It just
Or
sounds
wield
like
one.
hell. Yeah, or wield one. That sounds terrible. Rad weapons are sanctified instruments of radioactive annihilation issued to Imperial forces in the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. Reserved for most abominable xenos, they erupt in brief concentrated radiation bursts, flooding target zones with lingering lethal fallout after slow impact. There are many types of rad weapons, but Astartes never armed a whole arsenal. But used these weapons for specialists. First, we have the rad missile launcher. Rad missiles are consecrated rad powdered munitions deployed in the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. Forged from the Terran gene war relics of the Age of Strife, these missiles bore bespoke warheads marrying high yield fragmentation with sanctified radioactive isotopes. On detonation, they unleashed extreme toxic irradiation, ensuring terminal dissolution regardless of physical endurance. Owing to their corruptive persistence and ritual horror, they were issued in a limited measure, most often to destroyer space marine cadres. Next are rad grenades. Rad grenades are consecrated rad powder munitions sanctioned for use by Ordo Xenos Inquisitors and the Legiones Astartes. Upon detonation, rad grenades disperse a cloud of minute isotope-laced fragments. Each particle burns its lethal emission in a heartbeat, allowing the bearer to advance without cell contamination. Those caught within the blast radius, however, suffer lingering cell decay and debilitating radiation effects long after the initial rupture. Just a walking Chernobyl. That's all I think.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
His weapon sounds rad as hell. That is correct, Fuzz.
Yeah. This is a great comment too from Triple Gaff. Death Guard used a ton of them during the Heresy, and even though they would start falling apart from advanced cancer and decay from firing rad weapons all day. So even they were no match for these weapons. You use
Before
them
Nurgle, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of just.
I imagine after Nurgle, they kept those.
Yeah, I wonder if they got them in.
Being immune to that would be really, really useful as, even as a chaos thing. That is, yeah, -1 HP, -1 HP, -1 HP. It's so true.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, it seems like Astartes really only liked using the grenade variant and this
they value themselves too much, way too much.
Yeah, they're like, I'm going to shoot this thing far away from me, and then it's going to detonate far away from me, and maybe I won't get space cancer in 10 years. But,
yeah, don't want to Emperor's children willingly.
Yeah, we're like the Mechanicus. They use rad weapons a lot. They don't care as much, So there's some knights that use rad weapons, but definitely when it comes to Astartes, seems like they only use those grenade launcher type ones.
Yeah. And Triple said they'd never seen him for Death Guard in any book or codex. I think they traded him all in for disease, like disease grenades and stuff like that, probably. So yeah, that makes more sense. It's kind of hard to spread Nurgle's disease and corruption and viruses everywhere when you're also killing said viruses with radiation guns.
Yeah, I suppose that would be like the opposite of, like, it's like chemoing everything.
Shooting yourself. Chemoing everything. That's so funny.
Yeah. You don't want that if you're trying to also grow bacteria in somebody's lungs,
Yeah, for sure. Just make some mouth in people's lungs.
Cool. All right, the next weapon we have is the Reaper autocannon. The Reaper autocannon is a sanctified twin-barrel autocannon pattern forged during the Great Crusade to serve as a heavy support weapon for the Terminator squads of the Space Marine Legions. Its paired barrels deliver a relentless volume of fire, but the weapon's mass and punishing recoil demand the immense strength granted by Terminator armor, as even the power-armored Astartes cannot wield it with stability or control. Although a lot of them try. I see a lot of models with this gun in power armor.
Quite a few.
Yeah, so they're just, every time they shoot, just remember those bullets are going everywhere. They're not controlled. Many Reaper autocannons bear the heavy bladed fix beneath the barrels, allowing the weapon to be driven into close combat when ammunition or distant fails. But by the late 41st millennium, the weapon has fallen from loyalist Astartes' arsenals, supplanted by the more efficient assault cannon. It endures instead among the warbands of the heretic Astartes, more commonly borne by Chaos Terminators, and is also mounted upon Defilers and Blight Drone demon engines, Hellbrute Walkers, and the colossal Decimator super heavy tank. Yeah, pretty cool gun. Just the twin link autocannons. Very basic. We could actually make this gun in real life if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Yeah, it's just a gun. Just a ballistic firing gun. So
Funnily enough, I have a special fondness in my heart for this gun because my first ever 40K tournament, this gun carried.
Okay, nice. Okay. Just
Imagine they just took that right out of an A10 Warthog and just put it on a Space Marine and said, "All right, that's the Reaper autocannon."
Enjoy.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because in that first picture, Mark, there's like a bayonet. It looks like attached to it.
Who is swinging that?
Yeah. Or like
Just
this
in case.
bayonet where like it's not for stabbing. This one's only for like, I guess, going down on somebody, like hitting somebody downward. It's not long enough past the barrels to do any to pierce people. Fuck.
Is that a
It's just there
skull
for
on it?
aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess that's a multi-barrel autocannon, maybe. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Up next, we got the rotary cannon, and this is like almost like the assault cannon, but slightly
It's
different.
a lot like a minigun.
Yeah. Rotary cannons are sanctified weapons fielded by the Imperial Army and the Space Marine Legions throughout the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. These weapons were multi-barreled stub weapons driven by electric motors to sustain a merciless rate of fire through rotating barrels. Though the medium caliber rounds lacked the penetrative authority of bolt shells, the sheer density of fire rendered them brutally effective against unarmed masses and soft-bodied Xenos. From this lineage, the more renowned Space Marine assault cannon was later derived. Their true provenance is lost to antiquity, as many of the armaments borne by the legions who trace their dark ages to the back, whose designs trace back to the dark age of technology and earlier epochs. Less complex to manufacture than the most heavy weapons, the rotary cannon saw widespread deployment within the Legion tactical support formations. Exceptions, in later eras, rotary cannons are more commonly borne by voidsmen at arms to reinforce squad firepower. Among the soldiery, they have occurred numerous battlefield epithets, including Whirlgun, Deck Clearer, and the Emperor's Chainsaw. Ooh, the rotary cannon, yeah. It looks tight. Like anytime you got like that spinning barrel, you got like a chain belt of ammo. Yeah, you're going to be able to seduce the ladies with that gun.
Seduce the ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say no. You've got that guy facing you.
Yeah.
Just wetness everywhere.
It's such a cool looking like minigun.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that like they just hold the way they hold it, like this underslung variant that the Space Marines kind of are known for doing. So cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Fuzz agrees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, moving on the weapon list. Next up, we got volkite weapons. So, for a little context, volkite weapon is an archaic Martian designation for a sanctioned class of devastating ray arms whose lineage reaches back to the Age of Strife. They discharge focused energy beams, thermodynamic rays of sanctioned annihilation. Bearing lethality beyond most weapons of comparable scale, volkites were poorly comprehended and arduous to reproduce even upon the greatest forge worlds. Their origins lie within the dark age of technology, predating even the most perilous Terran disintegration arms. Volkite fire induces deflagration of organic matter, immolating flesh into ash and venting gouts of flame. A true strike may cause the victim to combust outright, often immolating those nearby. Emitted arrays range from precise thermal lances to arcing streams of esoteric force. In the early centuries of the Space Marine legions, they were once widespread, and following the pact with Mars, efforts were made to supplant the bolter with superior volkite systems. But though several companies adopted them, volkite arms proved too intricate for mass production and too exacting to sustain and prolong war. By the Horus Heresy, they had become hardly managed and very scarce. The Mechanicum, however, retained refined derivatives known as Voltalock weapons. The devastation of Forge Worlds hastened their decline until the art was later reborn by Archmagos Belisarius' call as Neo-Volkite arms during the Era Indominus. Certain ancient patterns, such as Telluric designated weapons, are older and more ill-omened still, restored and preserved within Astartes armories due to persistent shortages. Volkite arms are also borne by the hostile kin of the Leagues of Otan, who name them Vulcanite weapons. The Mechanicus deems them Martian derivatives. Kin Volkite lore is a truth far more ancient and older. Cool.
Fucking cool. We got some great artwork from GW of what this gun looks like when it shoots. It like shoots a line and like out of the barrel, the muzzle flash is really cool. It's like these circles.
Yeah. So a while back I saw a video of like a lightsaber. Like nowadays, like it was like a complaint video because like now people are like getting stabbed with like lightsabers in Disney Star Wars and none of it matters. They survive. But like this kind of reminds me of like the pistol. You shoot someone with it, it goes right through them because it's volkite. It's like basically like a mini lightsaber blast. But yeah, as I said, like you're dying either way. But like you want to combust or like did it take out your entire torso?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then you get hit by it, you just spontaneously combust. The heat's so wild, people around you might spontaneously combust. Like, crazy gun. There's that sweet artwork. I think it's in the same picture of this one too, where like you can't quite see it. But like all these guys down here are just like burning from the inside out, where it's like they're just engulfed in flames internally.
Yeah, that sounds
It's so
awful.
cool.
I love that Kin Tech versus Imperium Tech is literally anything you can do, I can do better. Very true, Paul.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Volkite
become
weapons
a playable weapon in Space Marine 2, so there's that.
Yeah, fucking tight.
Yeah, if you hold it on the beam, it makes like little explosions go off repeatedly.
Okay.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I might have to play that just to fire some of these guns again and see what they're kind of like.
Yeah. Although in my opinion the Volkite gun's not that good until you get it like really upgraded, then it's pretty strong, but like that's true with like every game.
Sure.
But it is pretty good if you get the right build for it.
Interesting.
But speaking of Volkite weapons, up next is the Volkite Serpenta. The Volkite Serpenta, often named the Sun Pistol, is the most diminutive pattern within the Volkite arsenal. It is a compact pistol-form ray weapon designed for one-handed operation by elite warriors. A Volkite Serpenta is a sanctified and uncommon arm, revered for its precision and lethality, discharging a focused thermodynamic beam. Within the ward disengaged, its ray flesh sears vital organs and renders living flesh molten, flowing and collapsing like heated wax under judgment. And then we have the Volkite Cavator. Cavator? I'm going to say Cavator. The Volkite Cavator was a specialized Volkite pattern fielded by the Night Lords, Contekar Terminators, a heavy ray weapon integrated with brutal chainblade for execution at close quarters. The Cavator represents a divergent Nostraman forge line of Volkite arms, a rare survival of lost industry upon that accursed world. Its deliberately stripped safeguards permit the emission of broader, less stable beams at reduced range, trading precision for overwhelming thermal annihilation. That suits the Night Lords like 100%. So that sounds something Jax would love so much.
And it even comes with a melee weapon. Just a
Yeah,
little like sprinkle on top.
that's brutal. The volkite charger is next. The volkite charger is a compact volkite pattern deployed during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy by the Legiones Astartes and the Mechanicum alike. Lacking the reach and raw output of heavier volkite arms, the charger preserves the beam's deflagrating lethality while permitting increased mobility. Such weapons are commonly issued to Legion tactical support squads for advancing fire saturation. And we have 2 more coming up. The volkite caliver. The volkite caliver was a sanctioned volkite pattern fielded by the Legiones Astartes and the Mechanicum throughout the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. A rifle-grade volkite form of severe effect upon flesh and bone, the volkite caliver was commonly issued to mobile Legion tactical support squads, delivering firepower exceeding that of the ubiquitous bolter. And then lastly, we have the volkite culverin. Volkite culverin is a heavy volkite armament, the most powerful man-portable volkite weapon sanctioned within the Imperium's arsenals. Its beam annihilates organic matter, flash. How do you say that? Cremating? Flash cremating flesh into ash and eruptive fire. Telluric pattern weapons are far more ancient and ill-omened than even those marked Protus, their designation invoking the forbidden horrors of the deepest strata of the Age of Strife. The scarcity of stable volkite production led to the reclamation of many telluric patterns for Imperial service, where they are ritually preserved and maintained within the Adeptus Astartes armories. I had not heard of any of these at all.
There's such weird names. Like it's not like volkite pistol. It's not heavy volkite. It's like they got all these weird fucking names
It's
attached
all
to them.
Mechanicum derived, it feels like.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
that's
oh sorry, but I think the Volkite Serpenta is in the game bolt gun. It's one of the weapons you use.
cool. It's a little handheld.
Oh,
pistol.
never mind. It's a pistol.
Never mind. Lied to
It's
me.
a bit smaller than what I was thinking.
It's cute.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like a
Yeah. All right. Up to the last set of weapons here that we're doing for these rare and retired weapons. We're doing Phosphex weapons. Phosphex weapons were sanctioned incendiaries, most often delivered as bombs or artillery munitions, containing a corrosive toxin and a self-sustaining compound, once named Phosphex, a substance extinguishable only by the silence of the void. Deployed by Imperial forces during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy of the late 30th and 31st millennia, they were classified as weapons of annihilation rather than conquest. In the 41st millennium, these relics, reclassified as phosphor weapons, are dispensed only under strict sanction. Their limited use by the Imperium's dwindling and irreplaceable reserves, surviving stocks remain in the custody of Adeptus Mechanicus Scutari and select Astra Militarum siege hosts. Where necessity outweighs censure. Phosphex itself is a rare incendiary compound utterly hostile to life. Historically delivered by a canister bomb or heavy shell, upon exposure to the air, it expands into a roiling liquid haze, burning with a pale white-green radiance that seeks motion. This glacial flame ignites metal and consumes living matter within tireless persistence, resisting all suppression short of hard vacuum. Despite its battlefield efficacy, its deployment was always restrained, for its contamination surpassed even rad weapon in the lasting environmental corruption. Thus, it endured within the Legion's armory only as a measure of final resort during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. In 009 M40, the renegade tech priest Verialad followed his Scutari's grim triumph in the cremation of Alcasia Secundus, enacted the final extinction of phosphorus manufacture, Having witnessed the abomination of a living flame, he obliterated the last surviving STC archive capable of its creation. All attempts to recreate Phosphix has failed. Condemned as a heretic by his peers, Velirad was bound and executed with the pistol Phosphenix, the finest of its kind. In the final irony, he perished by the same devouring fire he sought to erase from the Imperium. Fucking tool.
I think this guy was a good guy in the essence of like this weapon's worse than rata weapons, and like he destroys the SDC, which is like a huge deal in Campus. Like you don't do that, even if you're a heretic, a true heretic.
Yeah,
and he does this to like because it's worse than like rad weapons. He's like, oh no, like the people, the atmosphere, all that kind of stuff. And then he gets executed with one.
Yeah. Fuck the atmosphere, the women and the children, the Xenos. Whatever. We're great crusading here, you know?
Gotta make way for the temples, the cathedrals.
Yeah, man. You gotta make way for all that stuff. Exactly. Yeah, Phosphex is crazy. Is that a real life like obviously it's not a real like life gun, but is there like an element
phosphorus?
Yeah, the white phosphorus. I think that's like that.
So I'm imagining it works the same way where it in World War I it was used like as gas. If you ingested it, it would melt your organs, which pretty gnarly. But I'm wondering how this works. Because like is it like a step up from like phosphorus gas where like you shoot it, it kind of works like a grenade launcher, but it explodes and releases this gas, but like covers an entire area.
Whew. Yeah, crazy.
Is it effective? Is it more of like a terror weapon? Like how's this used?
This is like last resort. You just like everything needs to die, so you bring out these weapons.
Okay. All right. So if we want to get into like the specifics, I guess, the first example we got is the Phosphex rifle. Sanctified incendiary arm born by Space Marine legions during the Great Crusade, Horus Heresy, and all that, yada yada, and was a favorite instrument of the Primus Medicae of the legions. Your medics are rocking up with this. Okay, I see. The next example we got is the Phosphex incinerator cannon. The Phosphex incinerating cannon was a sanctified Imperial Phosphex armament born by the Dark Angels Legion during the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy. Phosphex incinerators were held in particular esteem by the Dreadwing Naufraga Terminators, reserved for wars of annihilation. Each Phosphex shell unleashed by the incinerator cannon was sufficient enough to immolate entire enemy infantry formations, reducing flesh and armor alike to drifting ash. Okay. Next we got the Phosphex bomb. The Phosphex bomb and its artillery analog, the Medusa shell, were sanctified incendiary engines deployed on the forces of the nascent Imperium during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy of the late 30th and early 31st millennia. Phosphex was a rare, corrosive, toxic incendiary compound utterly hostile to life. Delivered either as large canister munitions or as heavy artillery shells. Upon exposure to air, it bloomed into a churning liquid mist, burning with an unholy white-green flame drawn to motion. This cold fire ignited metal, devoured living tissue without pause. It could not be quenched save by the void itself. Despite its efficacy, its release was sanctioned only as a measure of last resort. Though devastating application, Phosphex saw limited use due to the lasting contamination inflicted, exceeding even the rad scarring left by the weapons of Legion destroyer squads. Even so, Phosphex bombs and Medusa shells were retained within the Legion's Astartes as instruments of absolute necessity. In the current age, Phosphex is no longer sees deployment on any meaningful Imperial scale. Ooh.
Yeah. Crazy weapon. I was just
I'm sweating. That's scary.
Yeah, yeah. These sounds like the ones I almost want to interact with the least if I'm going against them. Like not quite as bad as the rad weapons, but like they're right there.
yeah, they're right
Especially
there.
If that is a Black Templar dreadnought using it, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah. I really don't want to run against that.
Yeah,
That is terrifying.
Yeah, so it kind of is like phosphorus gas, but just like a step up, where instead of just being like this random mist, it's drawn to motion.
Ooh.
Crazy. Yeah, like I was reading about white phosphorus in real life and stuff, and that shit just seems absolutely crazy. Like, so then you add the grimdark of 40k on that, and yikes, man.
Yeah.
That's,
There were a lot of
that is absolutely terrifying.
messed up stuff in there.
Yeah. All
Unholy
types of ways to
white
kill
green.
somebody. You get really, really complicated in how you kill somebody. You know, you come up with like this like super complex laser cannon system. Like, you know, you could just hit them with a rock.
Yeah. And yeah. And then Fuzz is right. It is a war crime to use at IRL. It's been banned.
Oh, that is
We'll
definitely
see about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Granted,
in 40k. There's no war
it's a war
crimes.
crime to use tear gas, but we use it on our own citizens. So what does that say about the United States?
Exactly. That America, fuck yeah, man. I wish I was American, but no, I'm just some stupid fucking Canadian. So
Hey,
how do I become an American? Can
get
you guys
over
vouch
here,
for me?
apply for citizenship, or get you an American woman and wife her. Get that
Can't do
citizenship.
Imagine using Phosphex on protesters.
Yeah, there we go. Come on, let me in America. I'll join ICE and use Phosphex on protesters. I'll do it.
They want
Just
more
let me be
rights.
American.
This.
Hey, if you, I'm pretty sure if you go to the border and you tell an American agent, I'll join ICE for you, I'm pretty sure you just become an American. So
I wish. If only. Mark should get an HB1 as an expert in 40k. That's so funny. Come on, Trump. Just give me one of your
That
gold-plated
sounds
Visa
American,
cards for a special exception, for an exceptional person. Come on.
I don't doubt that it is expensive, Fuzz, at all. It's a long process. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah. I have looked into it, and yeah, it's too much. So instead, I decide to be a knockoff Panamanian for a bit.
Well, more people should donate to the Patreon. Let Mark become an American citizen.
Yes, please. Donate your citizenship to me. Please. I don't want to be a Canadiano anymore. They suck.
All right.
Suck so hard. What an
I got
episode
two
that
questions
was.
for you guys.
Okay, lay it
Yeah,
on
it's
me.
great.
All right. Got two questions for you guys. First one. If you could be a master in any of these weapons, maybe actually more melee. If you could be a master in a melee weapon, what would it be?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it has to be for me the what the fuck were they called? The barb hook lash. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it doesn't take that much skill to swing a sword. Like, yes, obviously it does it's very hard to become a good swordsman, but also like a barb hook and lash, like that is such an exotic weapon to master that. Like, no one knows what you're going to do. No one knows how to use it, but like, I understand the principles of sword. He's going to swing at it. Swing it at me. There's only a couple arcs he can kind of do with the barb hook thing, man. It just is wild. Like, you're just flinging it. It's so artsy and like, I don't know.
For me, if I'm thinking of the right ones, I'm gonna look it up real quick just to make sure. It's the nope, that is not it. That's the twin phalanx blade. That's not what I was thinking of. The probably for me, just because the name is awesome, probably the meteor hammer.
Yeah, that one's sweet too, man. Like,
That's just brutal. It's just,
yeah.
If you connect a hit, it is just.
Yeah, I like that weapon. It's like it's not like a power weapon. It's just like a big ball of fucking metal that will kill you if it touches you. Yeah. fucking cool. Damien says trade a jungle island for citizenship. But then I'd be homeless in America. And while that would be better than being homed in Panama, I don't know if I'm there for that. The meteor hammer Fuzz says also a real weapon for sure. Yeah.
So, second question: if you could
Well, no,
see any one of these
hold on.
weapons ranged or melee, oh, sorry.
You didn't answer what you wanted though on question 1.
Oh,
The Nostromo chain glaive?
that would be my bias, but I gotta say the power scythe. It's such like a cool looking,
yeah,
or like
power
the spirit
scythe
chain
is
glaive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're so cool. But yeah, my follow-up question: if you could see like just one out of all the weapons we talked about, ranged or melee, in the Henry Cavill show for 40K, done perfect, done like right, what would you choose, and how would you like show it off?
Honestly, for like if it's live action, I think the rad weapon, and let the guy who uses it actually like take effects from it. Let it be just like a regular Imperial guy, or an Astartes, but just so you can actually see their skin. I think that would actually really put, as like its first live action thing, a really great way to show how grimdark it is.
Yeah.
Have it be the main character too.
Yeah.
There's no season 2. Super
like
cancer.
on the eighth episode, like the 59th minute, he pulls out a rad gun and just starts blasting. See his hand just peeling off, and
fuck. He has to keep changing his trigger finger because fingers keep fucking falling off. Like
he's like doing this at the end, shooting it with his pinky.
Oh man. Fucking rank. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna go with a different weapon than that. And let's go with the rotary cannon. I know we see Gatling cannons all the time, but that's why we like them. That's why we see so many, because they're fucking tight.
Yeah.
Just imagine putting like I know it's not a bolt gun, this rotary cannon, but just imagine if you put like bolt equivalents in there where it's like special ammunition in your rotary cannon. It's like every shot it's shooting is shooting like first one's shooting anti-cover, second one's shooting armor piercing, and you shoot just like 10 different ammos in one, like
in like a cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Each barrel is kind of dedicated to its own ammo type. It just
that is actually kind of funny.
Just like a line of like rushing at you, just like guardsmen, and then the Astartes like pulls up, just like turns it on.
Yeah. Some of them get hit and just like their shoulder explodes. The dude next to them gets hit and they're completely gone.
Yeah, some get set on fire, some melt. Like
get on fire, some freeze an innocent and shatter.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Close second, that would be needle weapon. That's a close second though. See that done properly in a live action.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Sharo can show.
You know, like. You get the idea of like a snub weapon or whatever, but like, yeah, that cool mechanic of seeing all the different laser, the needle, and yeah, that'd be a cool one.
Base jacks.
Yeah, like back to the with the needle weapon, the no muzzle flash, just like you see a glimmer like light maybe like reflect off it, and then boom, someone's dropped.
Yeah,
you're like fucking got a mosquito.
That would show a way for them to be like actually stealthy. It's just they know they go to this one room with like 4 people in it, and then they're just drop. And you're like, what's happening? Yeah, it's a sneaky Astartes. That's what. Be terrified.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we covered a lot of weapons there, and I think this was the last of the Astartes armories for a hot minute. We covered bolt guns, melee weapons, heavy and special weapons, and all these. So, you can kill people in a lot of different ways, is the moral of these last 4 episodes.
Yeah, there is.
Where there's a will, there's a weapon, and then there's a way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, we'll just close out the show, I guess.
Yeah.
Come listen to Lorehammer, listen to Lore podcast. If you want to come read some homebrew lore, sign up to the Patreon. Throw me a buck. It really helps keep things moving. There's always
keeps the lights on. Keeps the lights on.
Exactly. So yeah, come join the show, do all that kind of fun stuff, and yeah, we'll see you on the next episode of Lorehammer. I think we're diving into Reboot Gilliman next, so should be good.
Oh, Robot Girly Man, let's go.
Robot Demon, yes sir. All right, well, we'll
Shoot
see you
the
all.
prospects.
Nice.